welcome back to the Sarai Show. Okay, I was literally about to start filming this when my Citizen app lit up. It sent me an alert that two planes just collided at SeaTac Airport. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but between this and the DC mid-air collision that killed 67 people recently, I just can't help but wonder what is going on with aviation right now. The DC crash was one of the deadliest air disasters in decades. That's how it's being reported. And today, authorities confirmed they've recovered the remains of all 67 victims, which is great. So I do want to take a second to talk about what actually happened, who those people were, and why this tragedy should not be ignored. For those of you who are unaware of what happened, on January 29th of this year, an American Airlines commercial flight collided mid-air with the U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter near Washington, D.C. 67 lives were lost, 67 people died, and it's been reported as the deadliest U.S. aviation accident since 2001. The crash was likely due to human error or miscommunication. Black Hawk was flying way too high. It was flying at 300 feet instead of the 200 feet that it was supposed to be at. And the American Airlines flight was descending at the same time. So yeah, this was not a mechanical failure, and this could have been avoided. It was avoidable. Here's something that really hit me about this. I used to work with NOTAMs in the Air Force. For those of you who don't know, NOTAMs, it stands for Notices to Air Missions. So they're essentially just traffic updates for pilots. When I was stationed at RAF Lakenheath in England, we had to keep track of every flight. Military, civilian, even royal flights. And I remember thinking, there is so much air traffic at any given time. How does all of this not collide? And so the answer is strict air traffic control, NOTAM alerts, and following procedures to the letter. So when I hear about a mid-air collision in 2025, my first thought is, did they miss a NOTAM? Was the right information even issued? Was someone not paying attention? Because in an airspace as controlled as DC, a mistake like this should not happen. And then, of course, Trump, our charming little president. After the crash, Trump immediately blamed woke policies and DEI hiring at the FAA. He claimed that unqualified people in key positions is exactly what caused the accident. There is zero evidence that DEI had anything to do with this crash. The real investigation is actually looking at altitude errors, miscommunication between the aircraft, and air traffic control procedures. That's it. Nothing about hiring policies, nothing about DEI. It's just so frustrating and quite disgusting because instead of focusing on real aviation safety concerns, we're getting political distraction tactics. The real questions we should be asking is air traffic control understaffed? Are pilots and military crews overworked? Are safety regulations being enforced properly? That's the discussion that actually matters. 67 people lost their lives, and I don't want that to just be like a news headline or a way for Trump to push his agenda. But among the victims, there were two individuals whose names I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but they were legendary figure skating coaches who helped shape the sport. Also, 11 young figure skaters, kids, who had very bright futures ahead of them. Every person on that flight had a story, a family, a life. And in that instant, all of it was gone. And I get why people are nervous about flying these days. I mean, I'm one of them. But the reality about flying is one of the safest ways to travel, even now. Most accidents happen because of human error, not equipment failure. And usually, when investigations happen, airlines will adjust it quite quickly. But that doesn't mean we should ignore red flags, because when small mistakes pile up, bigger tragedies happen. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about this today because I feel like these headlines, there are so many of them. Everybody wants views, and we need to pay attention to the stuff that actually matters. The 67 people lost in DC were just going about their day. They had families, they had dreams and plans. And when we talk about these things, it shouldn't just be news. It shouldn't be a political agenda that you're pushing. It should mean something. So just always remember, follow the facts, not the politics. Push for real conversations about aviation safety. Let's honor the victims by learning from this tragedy. And yeah, that's all I have today. What do you guys think? Are these incidents just bad luck, or is there something bigger happening in aviation? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you appreciate these breakdowns, just please let me know. Hit like and subscribe. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.